Welcome to Roots and Rest, where you can come for deep relaxation. The story this evening is called The Keeper of the Last Light. So settle in, allow your body to soften, and let the day begin to drift away. There is nothing you need to hold on to now. Only this story. In a quiet woodland, where the trees grew tall and close together, there was a small, almost forgotten path. It wasn't the main path. It didn't lead anywhere important, at least not in the way most people would think. But every evening, just as the last light of day began to fade, someone walked it. Her name was Marin. Marin had a simple task, one she had never questioned. Each evening, she walked into the woods carrying a small wooden box. Inside the box was something unusual. Not heavy, not large, but important. Light. Not the bright kind from the middle of the day, not sunlight. This was the last light, the soft golden glow that lingers just before night fully arrives, the kind that touches the edges of leaves, rests gently on the ground, and then slowly disappears. Somehow, no one quite remembered how, it had become Marin's job to gather it. And so, every evening, she walked the path. Tonight was no different. The sky above the trees had begun to fade into pale gold and soft grey. The forest was growing quieter. Even the birds had begun to settle. Marin stepped carefully along the narrow path. She knew it well. When she reached the first clearing, she stopped. A faint glow rested along the tops of the grass. Soft, almost gone. She opened the wooden box. Inside it was empty, waiting. Very gently, Marin lifted her hand toward the fading light. And as she did, something quiet and remarkable happened. The light followed. Not all at once, not quickly, but slowly, as if it trusted her. It gathered softly into the box. Not trapped, not taken, just held. Marin closed the lid carefully. She continued on. At the base of an old tree, she found another piece of light, caught along the bark, lingering in the curve of the trunk. Again she paused. Again she gathered it. Piece by piece, step by step, she moved through the forest, collecting what remained of the day. Not rushing, because the light never rushed. After a while, she reached the deepest part of the woods, a place where the trees grew thick and the shadows came earlier than anywhere else. Here the last light was always the faintest, but also most important. Marin opened the box again. Inside, the soft glow had begun to grow. Not bright, just steady. She added the final pieces of fading light, then closed the lid once more. And now, her task began to change. She was no longer gathering. Now she was carrying. Carefully, Marin turned and began the walk back. The forest was darker now, the path less clear. But she did not hurry. because she knew something important. The light she carried was enough. Not to light the whole forest, not to turn night back into day, but enough for the next step, and the next. As she walked, she passed the places she had been before. The clearing, the old tree, the quiet bend in the path. When Marin reached the edge of the woods, she paused. The sky above was deep now, the first stars beginning to appear. She knelt and placed the wooden box gently on the ground. For a moment, she simply rested her hands on it. Then, slowly, she opened it. The light inside had changed. It was softer now, calmer, no longer the fading light of day, but something quieter, something that belonged to the night. Marin left the box there, as she always did. By morning, it would be empty again, ready, waiting. She stood, brushing her hands lightly against her clothes, then turned towards home. Behind her, the box remained, holding its soft glow. And though the forest was now dark, it didn't feel empty, because the light had not disappeared. It had simply changed. And now, it's time for you to rest. Let your thoughts be like that fading light. Not something to hold tightly, not something to keep, just something that can gently settle and soften and change. You don't need to carry everything from the day. You don't need to keep every thought. You can place them down, just for now, and trust that what you need will still be there in the morning. Let your breath slow, your body grow heavy as the quiet of night settles around you. Good night.